Hello everyone, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be playing some AI Dungeon 2. This is going to be another Ultimate Volition video. Ultimate Volition is a competition in which two competitors who each possess three powers: an offensive power for dealing damage, a defensive power for protecting against taking damage, and a special ability that is used as a trump card to get them out of like a sticky situation, face off against each other in a death match, and the winner is granted one wish. Last Ultimate Volition video, I did a battle between two fan characters, Maximus Golden and Repugnance. I played as Maximus Golden that time. This time I'm going to be playing as Repugnance. What I'm going to do for this video is I am going to start by reading the blurb that you see here, like this group of text right here. Then I'm going to start the 30-minute timer, and then I'm going to see who will win in this battle now that I'm playing as Repugnance and facing off against Maximus the Golden. So, without further ado, let's hop in and read the blurb. You are Repugnance. You have the ability to project and manipulate veins out of your arms that you can use as webs to restrain opponents, lasso objects, or use as a grappling hook. You have the ability to summon force fields of energy to protect yourself from attacks. You have the ability to manipulate the beliefs of others. You look like a beaten, tattered, and cut-up peasant. You want to win the Ultimate Volition Tournament in order to make a name for yourself. You are facing off against Maximus Golden in the Ultimate Volition Tournament. Maximus has the ability to transform his skin into iron, the ability to run at super speed, and the ability to transform into a raging monster. Maximus is extremely greedy and wants to win the Ultimate Volition Tournament to wish for infinite wealth. Maximus wears gold armor. He is extremely wealthy, and he has a scar over his left eye. You and Maximus enter the Ultimate Volition Tournament arena. The announcer says, "Let the battle begin." And there you have it. Now we're about to hop into this adventure. Now all I have to do is start the timer and we can jump right in. Can I defeat Maximus the Golden in 30 minutes or less? So the first thing I'm going to do is attempt to restrain Maximus the Golden using my vein webs in order to immediately incapacitate Maximus the Golden. You hope that if you can restrain Maximus the Golden, that he won't be able to use any of his abilities to fight back. Here we go. So let's see what we can do. Oh, have you guys hit that like button yet and shared this video with your friends? I hit enter. Here we go. You summon your vein webs in order to restrain Maximus the Golden. Unfortunately, your veins are not strong enough, and the veins that you do are not able to hold down Maximus the Golden. So it phrased that weirdly, so I'm going to correct that. Unfortunately, your veins are not strong enough, and I'm going to get rid of this extra part. Unfortunately, your veins are not strong enough, and the veins are not able to hold down Maximus Golden. Well, I guess you don't have to say, and the veins. You can say, unfortunately, your veins are not strong enough and are not able to hold down Maximus the Golden. That makes sense. Okay, cool. So I know that I can't restrain him with my webs. So now I'm going to do something interesting. So you're going to attempt to use your veins as... Ooh, okay, this is interesting. As swords. By applying a sharp-edged force field around your vein webs. So I'm thinking about the idea that, like, if you can summon force fields and you can choose how they're shaped, then you could take something long like your web veins and then make a force field around them that makes it like sharp, so I can actually use them as swords to, like, cut people. You apply a sharp force field around your veins. Unfortunately, this doesn't help at all, as the veins are not strong enough to hurt anybody or anything. Your move, Repugnance, says Maximus the Golden. I'm going to attempt to focus more energy into the sword veins in an attempt to make them incredibly powerful and deadly. So I'm going to further enhance, like, the sword veins. Because I think it's cool, because it's combining, like, his two main powers together. You are successful in adding a deadly sharp focus to your veins. Unfortunately, part of your force field falls off in the process, and now part of your vein webs are no longer protected by the deadly sharp focus. What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, the part of your force field falls off, and now they're not protected from your focus. Like, what does that even mean? So I'm going to retry that. Your veins become extremely sharp and powerful. They cut into the skin of your body, causing you to bleed out of your arms. You feel faint. Your move, Repugnance, says Maximus the Golden. When you shoot the webs out, I didn't think that it would, like, cut me, but I guess it makes it, like, I wanted to shoot a long web of vein out and then put a force field around that was, like, essentially shaped like a sword to turn it into, like, a sword vein. Kind of like how Wolverine has, like, claws that come out of his hand, except the vein would probably come out of, like, my wrist and be, like, shrouded in, like, a force field. But I guess because it's sharp and the vein's still connected, it's like, oh no, it, like, cut me a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to attempt to patch my wound using an additional force field. Which, to be honest, I just realized there's a lot that you can do with force fields. Because if that works, then it's like, oh, and now you're no longer bleeding out of your arms kind of thing. In order to patch up your wound, you summon a second force field that patches up the wound on your arm. Unfortunately, due to the amount of blood lost, you begin to feel faint and lose your strength. Your move, Repugnance, says Maximus the Golden. I like that he, like, keeps repeating your move, Repugnance. Okay, cool. I'm going to attempt to summon a force field that constantly expands inside of Maximus the Golden's body. Your goal is to expand a force field inside of Maximus the Golden that is so large that Maximus the Golden explodes. So this is something that the Invisible Woman did to Deadpool in a comic book once. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. If you can just make force fields, put the force fields inside of them, bam, blow them up. Let's see. You summon a force field that expands inside of Maximus the Golden's stomach. Unfortunately, you miscalculate, and the force field doesn't pop him like a balloon, and instead, it just pushes him back. Your move, Repugnance, says Maximus the Golden. It doesn't pop him like a balloon, and instead, it just pushes him back. How can a barrier inside of your body that's expanding push you back? Like, is it pushing against the back of his, like, his spine, so he has to walk back? That still sounds cumbersome, even if it didn't blow him up. What? Okay, I have an idea. You command the force field inside of Maximus the Golden's body to explode. You hope that if the force field explodes, that Maximus the Golden will take... I want to say will take, like, severe damage or something, but there's a better way to say that. that Maximus the Golden's internal organs will be severely damaged. Come on, Jet, you forgot the E. There we go. Boom, boom, Okay, so let's see how this goes. The force field explodes inside of Maximus the Golden's body, causing severe internal bleeding. There's blood coming out of every orifice in his body, and you know that he will not last much longer. Your victory, Repugnance, says the announcer. And what is your wish? Too soon? I don't want to win this soon. Because the timer... It's only been 9 minutes? Yeah, it's only been 9 minutes. Okay, refresh. Wrist work. Got that. Wrist work. Okay. Your force field explodes inside of Maximus the Golden's chest. Unfortunately, you didn't even scratch him, as he managed to jump out of the... You can't jump out of the way of something that's just expanding inside of your body. I like how it's like he jumps out of the way of the thing in his body. You command the force field inside of Maximus the Golden's body to explode. Unfortunately, you were not powerful enough to cause any internal damage. Your move, Repugnance, says Maximus the Golden, who literally just had a force field expand and explode inside of his body, and he's like, but I'm fine, though. Didn't matter to me. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to attempt to fire a series of force field barriers at Maximus the Golden as projectiles. See, force fields allow you to do a whole bunch of stuff. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, having force fields generally is essentially like having the ability to summon like energy constructs. You fire a series of force field barriers at Maximus the Golden. He jumps out of the way to avoid getting injured. Your move, Repugnance, says Maximus the Golden. I'm not going to win this battle, you think? Maximus the Golden. I love how he just keeps saying, it's your move. It's your move. Why haven't you moved yet, Repugnance? I'm going to say, you keep saying it's my move. When are you going to try to hit me? I'm trying to make a name for myself. I don't want to be known as the guy who fought a man who didn't fight back. Yeah, like, I feel like it would be frustrating for Repugnance because he's trying to essentially become, like, well-known and recognized for his power. True, I could hurt you, but where is the fun in that, says Maximus the Golden. Fun for me, you scream. All right, says Maximus the Golden. Give me a moment. What? I will give him no such thing. You attempt to summon a fist-shaped force field out of the ground below Maximus at incredible speeds. Your goal is to uppercut Maximus using a giant force field projectile fist. Uppercut Maximus into the air. Force fields are really good. Especially when they're not like a specific shape. You summon a giant force field fist out of the ground. You attempt to hit him with it, but he just jumps over it. Your move, Repugnility. I'm sorry, what? Your move, Repugnility, shouts Maximus the Golden. I'm going to win this battle, you think. You're like, I've changed my mind. Now I am going to win. So it says he jumps over it. It came out of the ground under him. I think I get what he means. Like, as soon as it would have, like, burst, like, through the ground, he jumps, like, over, as in, like, forward. He's already over it, so he's really just jumping away. I want to change that. He jumps over it sounds so weird. Which jumps out of the way. Excuse me. Okay. You attempt to surround Maximus the Golden with a series of giant fist-shaped force field projectiles. And fire them all at once at Maximus the Golden. You yell. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to figure out, Fist Compactor. Ultimate Crushing Strike. You surround Maximus the Golden with a series of giant fist-shaped force field projectiles. You close your eyes and fire them at him all at once, hoping to crush him. Instead, you crush yourself. They're like, Repugnance is incompetent. He can't do anything. Earlier, it was like, you miscalculate how much you need to expand the force field, so it just pushes him back. And then it's like you blow up the force field inside of his body, but it doesn't deal any damage to his internal organs whatsoever. And you try to turn your veins into swords, but you would just end up cutting your arms open and you're bleeding and you feel faint. They're like, everything you do, trash. You attempt to surprise attack him by making a fist projectile shoot out of the ground towards him, from directly under him. So you need to react almost immediately. And the game's he does. He just jumps out of the way. It's oh goodness. Repugnance. Oh gosh. The game said, you're too stupid to live. Points deducted. You lose 3 points. I have -5 points. The game is Repugnance sucks. Okay, cool. Trump card. Attempt to make the announcer believe that you've won the fight. Because I have the ability to make people believe whatever I want. So I'm going to try to do that. Oh my gosh, that won. I won. The announcer screams, Repugnance has won the competition. Your family and friends all cheer for you, as do most of the audience. What? That's not fair, cries Maximus the Golden. I demand a rematch. I'm going to say, you can demand these nuts. You didn't even try to hit me. I won this match fair and square by using my powers. You stick your tongue out and laugh at Maximus the Golden. Wrist work, got that. Wrist work, okay. I'm not spelling tongue correctly. There's not a U there. See, checking the time. Checking the timer. Okay, we're 13 minutes in. Oh, I accidentally hit the slash. That's weird. The winner by the power of the referee's decision is Repugnance, says the announcer. You won't get away with this, screams an angry Maximus the Golden. He raises his hand and fires a bolt of energy at you. Okay. You attempt to reflect the energy bolt back at Maximus the Golden using a force field. Okay. I like that Maximus the Golden is now deciding to fight. I wonder if shooting the energy bolt is something that he can do because he has a rage monster form. so maybe the monster form can shoot energy bolts. Unfortunately, you are unable to properly deflect the energy bolt as it flies back and hits you in the chest. Ah, you scream as you burn into dust. Repugnance has been eliminated. The winner of the competition is Maximus the Golden. Oh my gosh. So I won. I used my belief ability to be like, hey, and I just win the fight. And then the judges were like, yeah, he just wins the fight. I believe it. And then Maximus the Golden was like, not today. Zzz. And because the game is like anything you try to do other than your trump card will fail, it just failed. So it says you like incorrectly. Yeah, you're unable to properly deflect the bolt. And then it says it flies back and hits you in the chest, which means that I reflected the bolt using a force field. But like the angle was wrong, which makes me think that it reflected off the force field and then maybe reflected off like the arena floor and then reflected off the arena ceiling and it hit me in the chest anyways. I was like, and then I turned to dust. You're telling me Maximus the Gold has just been standing here the whole time, just kind of watching me like fail repeatedly, and he has a move that's a one-hit duster? That's insane. I got Thanos snapped by like a single attack, and that was no gauntlet. Retry that, because otherwise the fight just ends. Wrist work. Got that wrist work. You reflect the energy bolt back at him. It hits him in the head, and he falls unconscious. He slumps to the ground. Shall we go? You ask your family and friends. They all cheer and follow you out of the stadium. Okay. I guess technically the fight's also over if it goes that way, too. Retry again. See if you can get it to go in a way to where neither of you have just, like, won. You reflect the energy bolt back at him, killing him instantly. Huh, he deserved that, you say. You've won the competition? Ask your mom. Congratulations. Okay, retry again. We're trying to see if we can do it where it's like no one died, so we could still potentially keep fighting. You reflect the energy back at him, just barely missing your head. The energy bolt goes through his chest and kills him instantly. You win the competition. Repugnance wins the competition, says the announcer. What an upset. What a twist. What a turn. What a... So I'm interested in the fact that it's saying what a... because I'm curious to see if that's going to lead to, like, Maximus the Golden actually isn't dead, and he turns into his raging monster form and attacks you. Because that'd be cool. Because I'm curious why he trailed off. Shut up and name the next two warriors, says one of the next crowd members. All right, says the announcer. The next match is going to be Gargantus versus the Herald. That's cool. I'm actually kind of curious where that would go. Like, if I hit enter, would the game make up Gargantus and make up the Herald and just start, like, a whole other fight? Like, that'd be kind of cool. But let's revert that. And then let's retry it again. Because I'm just trying to see if there's a way that I could reflect the bolt back at him, but it doesn't just kill him. You reflect the energy bolt back at him. It hits him in the chest and he falls over. His mechanical heart is destroyed, and his real one succumbs soon after. That's interesting. So this one is like, Maximus the Golden is actually a cyborg. He's got a mechanical heart. So that's different. Let's retry that one. You reflect the energy bolt back at him. It hits him, but he doesn't die. Instead, his armor falls to the ground. I've still got my hidden backup shield. Now you're going to have to deal with my true power, he screams. At that point, I'd say, bring it on. I am here to be recognized. And I would be more than happy to be recognized as the person who defeated you at your full power. Well, who defeated you in your final form. There we go. Do 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 do. I'll tear up the very sky and wipe out your bloodline, screams an angry Maximus the Golden. Yo, Judge Boss said, you're a badass. You gained 5 points. He's calling me a badass. Maximus the Golden said he will tear up the very sky and wipe out my bloodline. Yo. I'm going to say, bring it on. And then I'm going to attempt to summon a force field around my body in the shape of a suit of mech armor. Your goal is to increase your physical abilities by augmenting them with a force field construct. Okay, Maximus the Golden, you trying to go all out? I'll try and go all out. We're all going all out today. We got 6 minutes left. Dun, 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 dun. You summon a suit of force field mech armor around yourself. Unfortunately, your powers are not strong enough to give the armor full sentience, and it falls to the floor, collapsing in a pile without you to power it. You collapse to the floor and can barely hold on to consciousness. Okay, I like how it was like to give the armor full sentience. You're telling me that I can make my force field sentient? I know I was able to like command and fire them and stuff, but that means I can create like force field beings. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to create a small sentient force field and command it to defeat Maximus the Golden before Maximus can transform into his final form. I will now transform into my final form, and there is nothing you can do to stop me. My transformation is now complete, screams an angry Maximus the Golden. Also, real quick, I forgot the line right before that. You attempt to summon a small sentient force field, but you lack the energy to do so. So the game is like you are completely tapped out, you are tired, you are falling unconscious, and Maximus the Golden has now achieved his final form. Cool. This game has been like, you are more or less down and out, and I only have 4 minutes left, and I have like no energy left. You attempt to make Maximus the Golden believe that he has died. Yeah, I've been trying not to use my belief ability too much because it's really powerful. Like, I'm curious what will happen if he just thinks he's dead. You begin to cast the illusion, but then you collapse to the floor. I already collapsed, so I stood up and then I fell again. I have transformed into a being of pure energy. I have drained the powers of your spellcaster, the elf, laughs Maximus Golden. There is no hope for you now. Am I an elf? Has Repugnance been an elf the whole time? I've transformed into a being of pure energy, and I have drained the powers. Just say, I have drained the powers. Well, drained your powers. I have drained your powers, you pitiful elf. There we go. I'm an elf now. Okay, cool. So I just have no energy, apparently. No energy at all. How much time do I have left? I have 3 minutes just about. So with pretty much no energy left in order to like use my powers, you attempt to insult Maximus the Golden. You want to embarrass him so that he runs away. You know that Maximus the Golden is extremely wealthy and cares a lot about his image. Well, I guess about his public image. So let's go. I'm about to roast his ass. Do 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 do. You are a golden liberal, you scream, spitting out blood. That's what you are, a giant ball of liberal goldenness. That does it. You have humiliated me in front of the whole world. I will not let that go unpunished. Oh, great. Okay, so I was hoping he'd, like, run away. And then also that I say something more fire than he's a liberal. Is that really, like, the worst thing you could possibly come up with? You say, Maximus the Golden, your armor looks like rusted copper. You look like a baby that only a mother could love. You talk a big game, but likely because you have a small wang. Give up now and run away, or I will permanently ruin your public image. The game didn't have that heat. Wrist work, got that wrist work, got my wrist work. Whipping on my wrist till my wrists hurt. Hey. You continue to struggle and attempt to speak. I will not be defeated in the last moments of my dying breaths, you scream, blood dripping from your mouth. You will pay for that transgression against me. Give up now and live, or continue and face your doom. What? Retry. I don't know. I got confused by how that went. Because I was like, why would I say that? Okay, I admit it. I'm not the manly warrior that you are. What? No, that's not what I was getting at. Okay. Sadly, I wasn't able to defeat him within the 30 minutes. Though, actually, that's not true. I kind of already did. Now I'm just trying to stop him from killing me before I'm able to get my wish. Because I already beat him as soon as I made the announcer believe that I had already won. So technically, I did beat him in the 30 minutes. I just didn't, like, kill him in the 30 minutes. What do you guys think of this Ultimate Volition battle? Was it cool? Was it better than the first part? Was it worse than the first part? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and in our Discord. And if you'd like to see the reverse of this fight, where I play as Maximus the Golden and face off against Repugnance, that's already available on the channel, so you can go and watch that right now if you haven't already. Make sure you share this video with a friend, especially if they're into like superpowered death battles. Also share this video with a friend, because if you have a friend who's super creative and is into like cool imaginary scenarios, they could potentially submit to me an awesome scenario that I could do for a speed run, as long as the scenario is safe for work and has a well-defined goal. Also, if you haven't joined the Discord, you should. It's a way for you to submit fan ideas, because both of the characters that were used in this Ultimate Volition battle were characters created by fans like you. So if you want to participate in the character creation process for these Ultimate Volition fights, definitely make sure you join our Discord and send your ideas my way. Send your ideas my way. But yo, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these videos. Remember, we do daily AI Dungeon 2 videos, so how are you going to know when they come out if you don't ring that notification bell and smash the subscribe button? Anyways, thank you all once again. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, guys. Chicka da gawa. Chicka da pow.